High in the remote Dangrek Mountains, straddling the rugged border between Cambodia and Thailand, a place where the clouds often meet the earth, stands the majestic Preah Vihear, a breathtaking and awe-inspiring Khmer temple, a testament to human ingenuity and devotion. It's not just built, but dramatically perched atop a sheer cliff, defying gravity and time itself. Its sweeping panoramic views that stretch for miles and intricate carvings that adorn every surface tell epic stories of ancient kings and their glorious reigns, the countless pilgrims who have sought solace within its walls, and the enduring power of faith that has sustained it through the ages. For centuries, it was a revered place of worship, a spiritual beacon drawing people from far and wide, and a potent symbol of the Khmer Empire's remarkable spiritual and artistic achievements, a golden age etched in stone. But its dramatic and precarious location, straddling the watershed that awkwardly marks the modern border, has unfortunately made it a flashpoint, a contested space fueling national pride and, at times, open conflict. Access is undeniably easier from the Thai side, but the temple's grand and imposing entrance unequivocally faces Cambodia, reflecting its complex and often contradictory identity. The temple has peacefully witnessed both sacred rituals and solemn ceremonies, and the harsh realities of modern warfare, a stark contrast of human experience. Its ancient stones bearing the scars of artillery fire and the presence of soldiers. To truly understand the roots of the conflict surrounding this sacred place, we must look beyond the temple's weathered stones to the tangled and often painful history of these two nations. This is not simply a story of remarkable architecture and artistic achievement, but a complex narrative of nationhood and identity, the legacy of colonial borders arbitrarily drawn, and the powerful, often overwhelming emotions that ancient symbols can evoke in the human heart. Preah Vihear poignantly stands as a paradox, a sanctuary of peace and reflection, yet simultaneously a potent symbol of enduring strife and unresolved tensions. Its fate is inextricably bound to the complex legacy of empires, the arbitrary lines drawn by colonial powers long ago, and the deep, often visceral pull of national identity and belonging. Here, at this dramatic precipice, history, geography and identity violently collide, with profound consequences that continue to shape the lives of people in the region today. Preah Vihear's origins are deeply intertwined with the Khmer Empire, a civilization of immense power and cultural influence. This empire once held sway over a significant portion of Southeast Asia, leaving an indelible mark on the region's history and shaping the destinies of countless communities. Its reach extended far and wide, influencing art, architecture and governance. Built and expanded over centuries through the dedication of numerous rulers and artisans, the temple was dedicated to Shiva, a principal deity in Hinduism, and it flourished as a major spiritual center, attracting pilgrims and devotees from across the land. Its architectural style is distinctly Khmer, bearing a close resemblance to the magnificent Angkor Wat, showcasing the ingenuity and artistic prowess of the Khmer civilization. This shared architectural language reflects a deep-seated cultural heritage between Cambodia and Thailand, a testament to centuries of interaction and exchange. As empires rose and fell like the tides, the control of the region experienced constant shifts and power struggles, leaving a complex tapestry of historical claims and counterclaims. Throughout these transitions, people of both Khmer and Siamese descent coexisted in this land, their lives intertwined, sharing customs, beliefs and traditions that blurred the lines of distinction and fostered a sense of shared identity. Consequently, both nations can rightfully claim a connection to the temple, viewing it as a symbol of their respective cultural and historical legacies. However, this shared history, rather than fostering unity, has unfortunately become a source of rivalry and contention, fueled by competing national narratives. Nationalism in both countries often draws on the glories of past empires, selectively interpreting history to bolster national pride and assert territorial claims. This has transformed Preah Vihear into a contested symbol, a focal point for nationalistic fervour and a reminder of unresolved historical grievances. In the pre-colonial era, borders were far from the rigid lines we know today. They were fluid and porous, shaped by local allegiances, trade routes, and the ebb and flow of power between communities, rather than fixed lines drawn on a map. Within this complex and interconnected world, the temple existed as a sacred site, a place of pilgrimage and spiritual significance, until European powers arrived and imposed rigid borders, fundamentally altering the political landscape. That imposition, driven by colonial interests, would tragically transform a shared heritage, a symbol of unity, into a bitter point of division, fueling conflict and resentment for generations to come. French colonialism in the late 1800s brought new borders to Southeast Asia. France, ruling Cambodia, signed treaties with Siam to define the border along the Dangrek Mountains watershed. But when French cartographers drew the official map in 1907, they placed Preah Vihear on the Cambodian side, deviating from the natural watershed. Whether by error or design, this map became the official record, and for decades Siam did not formally object. The map's discrepancy with the natural geography lay dormant, a colonial artifact waiting to ignite future conflict. As Thailand and Cambodia became independent nations, the map became central to their dispute. The fate of Preah Vihear would be decided not by kings, but by the legacy of colonial cartography. The seeds of a century-long conflict were sown by a single line on a map. That line would soon be tested in the highest court. Following its independence, Cambodia asserted its claim to the ancient temple of Preah Vihear, a site of immense cultural and historical significance. This claim was primarily based on the delineation of the border as depicted in the 1907 map, a document produced during the French colonial era. However, Thailand contested this interpretation, arguing that the true and natural border should be defined by the watershed line of the Dangrek Mountains. This geographical feature formed a natural boundary. As neither side would concede, tensions along the border began to escalate, leading to a period of strained relations. In 1959, with the dispute seemingly intractable, Cambodia made the decisive move to bring the matter before the International Court of Justice, seeking a final and binding resolution to the territorial disagreement. In its presentation to the court, Cambodia's legal team placed significant weight on the 1907 map, further arguing that Thailand's decades of apparent acceptance of the map's delineation constituted a tacit agreement to the border's location. Countering this, Thailand's representatives maintained that the 1907 map was inherently flawed and inaccurate. They asserted that the true intent of the original treaty should take precedence over any cartographical errors. The court was thus faced with the complex task of weighing the principles of legal stability, as represented by the map, and Thailand's past conduct, against the geographical realities of the watershed. After careful deliberation, in 1962, the International Court of Justice delivered its verdict, ruling by a vote of 9-3 in favour of Cambodia. The court's decision hinged largely on Thailand's prolonged failure to formally protest the map's depiction of the border, which the ICJ interpreted as a tacit acceptance of its validity. As a consequence of the ruling, Thailand was formally ordered to withdraw all of its military and administrative personnel from the area surrounding Preah Vihear. The verdict was met with jubilation in Cambodia, marking a significant victory on the international stage. Conversely, in Thailand, the ruling was perceived as a profound blow to national pride. While the ICJ's decision provided a clear legal answer to the question of sovereignty, it did little to address the underlying emotional and historical complexities of the dispute. The temple, with its stunning architecture and rich history, became a potent symbol, representing triumph for one nation and a painful loss for the other. The seeds of resentment and lingering disagreement were thus sown, ensuring that the dispute, far from being resolved, would continue to simmer beneath the surface. The fate of Preah Vihear, inextricably linked to national identity and historical narrative, was now deeply etched into the collective consciousness of both Cambodia and Thailand. The conflict in its various forms was therefore far from truly over, destined to resurface in the years to come. The 1962 ruling failed to bring lasting peace. For decades, the issue simmered, overshadowed by regional turmoil and Cambodia's own tragedies. In 2008, Cambodia's successful bid to list Preah Vihear as a UNESCO World Heritage Site reignited tensions. Many Thais saw this as a move to claim disputed land, sparking protests and a military build-up. From 2008 to 2011, the border became a war zone. Artillery fire damaged the temple, soldiers died, and thousands of civilians fled. The temple, once a symbol of shared heritage, became a battlefield. Cambodia returned to the ICJ in 2011, seeking clarification on the surrounding land. In 2013, the court affirmed Cambodian sovereignty over the promontory and ordered Thai withdrawal. Legal clarity did little to ease political and emotional tensions. The conflict's human cost was immense, and the dispute remained unresolved. For border communities, the Preah Vihear dispute is not abstract, it's a daily reality. Villages with shared ethnic ties have suffered most, their homes and fields caught in the crossfire. Armed clashes forced thousands to flee, leaving behind livelihoods and security. Schools closed, markets emptied, and fear replaced daily life. The economic impact was devastating. Cross-border trade and tourism vanished, and landmines made farming perilous. Even in calm times, the border remains militarized and access to land is restricted. Children grow up seeing the neighboring country as an adversary. The temple, once a source of prosperity, became a barrier. The scars, psychological and economic, run deep. The human cost of the conflict is measured in lost lives and shattered communities. Preah Vihear is more than an ancient ruin. It's a symbol of national identity for both Cambodia and Thailand. For Cambodians, it's a link to the Khmer Empire and a source of pride after decades of suffering. The temple's image appears on currency and stamps, and defending it is seen as defending the nation itself. For Thais, the ICJ ruling is remembered as a national humiliation, and many believe the temple rightfully belongs to them. Nationalist movements on both sides have used the dispute to rally support and inflame tensions. The temple has become a stage for national identity where emotion outweighs reason. Preah Vihear matters because it embodies the very idea of Thainess and Khmer-ness. Ancient stones have become a non-negotiable symbol of who these nations are. But today, Preah Vihear sits in uneasy peace. The guns are silent, but the border remains heavily militarized and the dispute unresolved. The ICJ's 2013 ruling clarified ownership of the promontory, but the precise border in surrounding areas is still contested. Both countries keep troops nearby, and negotiations move slowly, hampered by mistrust. The UNESCO designation now offers a chance for cooperation, joint management, conservation, and sustainable tourism. But without a final agreement on sovereignty, the temple's future remains uncertain. The standoff is a reminder of how history shapes the present. Peace is fragile, resting on military disengagement rather than true reconciliation. The future depends on both nations moving from standoff to genuine settlement. Preah Vihear's story is a lesson in how sacred places can become battlegrounds for identity and power. True peace requires seeing the temple not as a prize, but as shared heritage. Lasting resolution demands patient diplomacy, cultural exchange, and mutual understanding. The stones speak of a shared past, not national boundaries. UNESCO and the international community can help foster dialogue and joint conservation. The challenge is to make Preah Vihear a bridge, not a barrier. Its future invites us to seek peaceful solutions and honor the past without being trapped by it. Only then can the temple stand as a testament to reconciliation, not division.